Yeah, there we go. See, I'm always like change from one system to the next, and I still have trouble because I don't always 100% know for sure if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I mean, we got a little, the recording number up there says rec numbers, and it starts to go. And sometimes I think it's going, and sometimes it's not going, and I don't always 100% know. Don't you don't you love that? Don't you love it how just in 1 minute I set that thing down and it was already untangled, and then I pick it up again and it's tangled up again, right? All right, so let's try this. That way we can have a little better video audio quality to the video. Anyway, one of the things I just did a couple short responses on my phone for day 12 and 13. I also did some down views of a couple Shadowrun, or not mean one Middle Earth module, and then I did a couple Twilight 2000 because I'm trying to stock up. I recently cleared out my little menu of prepared videos so I could move on to some new stuff. This is a good weekend. The wife and I went to the fair yesterday, as I said, and we were going to go today, but yesterday was we're just getting older, and it hurts a lot sometimes to walk around in the heat, humidity, and the crowds they were packed. I mean, I've been to the Iowa Fair many, many, many times. I've been there, I can go on and on and on about my experiences at that fair since a kid, and it's been a staple of my life for my entire life. And this was one of those years where it was just, we had a good time, but at the same time, it could have been better, in part because the weather was just terrible, heat-wise. The humidity was just, there was no breeze, and it was hard to breathe and to walk around, and then you had to fight people everywhere. The crowds are just everywhere. If they didn't break 1 million today in attendance, or yesterday in attendance, I'd be surprised. It was noon or a little after, not quite 1 o'clock by the time we got down there, and the parking was already full in the fairground parking, and they hold 10, 20,000 vehicles or better in the outside parking lots around the fairgrounds, but they were all full according to the sign, so we were forced to pay to park in somebody's yard several blocks away from the fair proper, which meant we went and walked a little further, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's good for the fat man and the little woman to get out and get some exercise once in a while. That humidity truly, truly takes its toll on us. Had some good times. Well, in case you may be wondering what I'm doing here, is I'm dismantling my downview rig. Like I said in my earliest video on the subject, when I'm sharing with you guys what it is I've stumbled across, a nice selfie stick here, and the C-clamp I'm using to keep the thing clamped to the table. I know my video quality is not so hot because we got too much light coming in from here. It's kind of a catch-22. You want to have lighting, but you don't want too much lighting. And natural lighting's good, but then if it's coming down on the screen, not so good. So like I said, C-clamp, loads of duct tape, my selfie stick, my Logitech camera, everything here purchased from Walmart. Pretty easy to get. Eventually, when I have an opportunity when we buy a house and I can have a workstation that's static, I'm going to buy one of them those lamps that you clamp to the table that has the arms that you can move around and extend, and then I'll mount my camera to the lamp, and then hopefully with the aid of the light and the camera, everything will work together and I can maneuver it and not have to tear it up and down, just plug it in and unplug it when I don't want to utilize it. But it's nice, and it's given me a different depth to my videos. So I've improved my videos over the past year in some aspects, I think, in my opinion. And then it is what it is. Isn't that how we try to do, is get better at what we do? At some point in the near future, I want to take it and get my hands on one of those video software programs that help us do the editing, right? And what I mean by editing, I guess, is different from other people. A lot of these ones I've seen, these freebies, is talking about editing, the color quality or the lighting or whatever in the video itself. I'm not really talking about that. I'm not against that, and I see the value of it, and this is an example of the value. What I'm wanting is the ones where I can insert things, where I can have captions and pictures that I can insert into the video, kind of like not unlike and I know what it is. I learned how to use it a long time ago. Uh, it's not Photoshop either. It's creating a moving. Never mind. I know what it is. I just can't bring it to my brain. It is what it is. I need you to give me a second. There's some things I can't remember where it is, what it is. And there we go. Back again. Pick up the little microphone, get the microphone going. Hopefully the sound comes through. Like I said, morning milk. Squirrel outside having his breakfast. There's always some advantages to living the RV life, right? So, like I said, my little down rig trying to improve my video quality. I have no illusions. I'm not going to rant and rave like certain people about what can I do to get more video. How can I get more people to view my stuff? How can I get my numbers up? How can I get more subscribers? I'm utterly humbly surprised that I picked up two more viewers overnight. I had 45 now. When I went to upload my day 12, it said I had 47. So I picked up two more subscribers overnight, which I'm grateful for. Honestly, we're never going to make money doing this thing, but that's never been the point about this stuff. There's other ways to make money. For me, this is about sharing what I love in my hobby and then giving my 2 cents back and 2 cents worth for what it's worth, and giving some ideas and concepts, things that occasionally are useful to know or useful for others in their hobby. And if you benefit from it, I'm honestly, happy that that's the way it works. It's like I watch videos quite a bit. My job allows me. I don't want to say I don't watch them. I listen to them quite a bit because I don't have a radio in the truck, so I use my cell phone and another version of these. They're much greasier, and I listen to your guys' stuff. And sometimes I comment on it, sometimes I don't. A few times I comment and I don't get responses, and I get a little cheese on that somewhat. I have a current person that I subscribe to their channel, and I like his stuff, and I like the way he presents himself to some degree. But I get the impression he doesn't care for my commentary. He never responds to it, and he's kind of a bit snarky. And I'm puzzled because he posts quite a bit in the channel, the video response channel, and yet I can never like his stuff. I try to like it, I hit the like button, and it immediately doesn't click. It shows up and then it disappears. It's as if he's blocking. I don't know. He's blocking me somehow. I don't see how he could block me and I still see his stuff. Perhaps I don't quite understand what's going on there. Maybe he's got something on his thing that prevents that. I'm not going to name the name, but it's really struggled with this the last couple weeks because while I don't seek out people's approval and attention per se, too old for that now. You either like me or you don't. You like my stuff or you don't. I don't care. It's not about you. It's not really about me. It's just about being here and being part. Uh, but I really struggle with the idea of unsubscribing to his YouTube channel because somehow or another I feel like I'm being snubbed or slighted somehow. Yeah, that's an issue in my head. It's on me. So far, I've not done that. I don't unsubscribe from people. I know we're all in this to try to support, and every little subscription matters to us, even when we say it don't. Just knowing we have more than a few people. I can't tell you how many of my earliest videos I did. Probably half of my Middle Earth stuff. I only had 4 or 5 subscribers. So here we are 2 years later. I've got 47, coming up on that big 50, which is that first milestone for most people. Was it 50, 100, then 500 or something like that? And I come across other people's videos, systems that you guys got thousands of subscribers, and it just amazes me. So you're doing really good stuff. And some of it's not so good. Some of it's not any better than what I do. I know Rob Gusser's stuff's far superior to mine, and why he doesn't have hundreds of subscribers. His stuff's far superior to somebody else I was referring to stuff. And how come, Rob has fewer subscribers than that fella? Kind of boggles my brain a little bit. Again, we're never going to quite get the understandings to that sort of thing. I know I spent part of last night when I was recovering from the fair. One of the things at the Iowa State Fair is food on a stick. I guess that's at a lot of the fairs now. But they had every year they add new things, and they had fried pickles on a stick. I didn't ever see those. I know we had to trek down the one that I went. It was pork belly on a stick, basically really big, thick bacon covered in maple flavored sauce, and they were terrible. Terrible. I ended up eating 2. The wife ate 2 at $7 a piece. $7. So I spent $28 for 4 pieces of bacon that were this long, about yay thick, about yay wide. And God, they were terrible. Yeah, I could have ate 5 more of them. I don't eat that. All I know is it was probably a good thing we cut the day short. We went in with $300 or $400 in our pocket. We spent about a little less than half. Had a good time. It cost $12 just to get in. It cost me $15 to park outside and then in somebody's yard. And then we went in, and corn dogs are $7 a piece. And I went and bought a pop, and the pop was $5, and then lemonade was $5, and the pop was watery, and none of the fountains are, all their fountain pop is straight out of the can. It's not refrigerated, so it goes into a cup of ice. It melts fairly quick, especially in that humidity. And I thought it was watered down. Then these young people try to, stay ahead of the crowd. So they make a bunch of them in advance and set them there on the counter, and they just, right? I don't know. I wasn't happy with it. It just seemed like certain quality went down this year in some aspects than other years. Could have just been the fact I was tired. I worked all morning, and the humidity was just horrible. But we still had a good time. I managed to find wife found a nice carry-all with the American flag on it, and she liked, and we got that fairly cheap. And I got some junk food I didn't need to eat. I got my traditional stuff. We went and watched a few shows and did a few things and had a good time. Right? So anyway, like I said last night, I went through a lot of my the videos over the past 6 months or a year, and I put them into lists. Is that right? Is that what it's called? That's not what it's called. Anyway, I made some more stuff on my thing. And it's one of those, I guess, that belong to rambling. Fat man rambling on. So I'm going to ramble off and ramble on to one that's going to actually have